This is the story of Puss in Boots.
Once upon a time, a very long time ago, there lived a poor miller with 3 sons. When the miller died, he left his mill to his oldest son and the donkey to his second son. He left his third son, his cat. Aha! But this was a magical cat because this cat could speak. Meow! If you will make me a pair of boots, we will always have good luck. Meow!
The cat said. The boots were made, and then, as if by magic, a whole set of clothes appeared. There were velvet trousers, a silk shirt, a fine red jacket, a sword, and a large hat with a very beautiful feather. Dressed in his new clothes, the cat looked really splendid. And then he set off for the royal palace with a large fat rabbit which he had caught.
Meow! My master, the Marquis of Carabas, sends you this gift. Meow!
He said proudly as he bowed. He took a new gift every day, and the king was very pleased. He pretended that he had heard of the Marquis, but of course the cat had just made up that name.
One day, Puss in Boots heard that the king and his daughter were going to the river. Meow! Go down to the river and swim! Meow!
He told his master.
Ah! And stay there until I call you! Meow!
The young man went into the water, and Puss hid his ragged clothes. Soon the king came by, and Puss called out,
Help! Help! The Marquis of Carabas is drowning! Meow!
The king's footmen helped the young man out, and the cunning Puss said that the Marquis's clothes had been stolen while he was swimming. Immediately the king ordered some fine clothes to be brought from the palace for the young man. The miller's son looked very handsome in his new clothes, and the king's daughter fell in love with him. They went together to the palace.
Puss ran ahead of the carriage and asked all the people in the countryside to tell the king that the land belonged to the Marquis of Carabas and that he was a very good master.
When the king heard all they said about the Marquis of Carabas, he was very impressed.
Meanwhile, Puss in Boots was still busy with his cunning plans. He came to a large castle which was the home of a giant who had great magical powers. Puss ran up to the great doors and told the servants that he had a message from the Marquis of Carabas. He made his master sound very important, and the servants soon led him to the giant.
At last, he was face to face with the giant.
Now, I have heard of your magic powers,
Said Puss with a grand flourish of his hat.
and I have traveled far to see them for myself. Can you really change yourself into whatever you wish? Could you become a mule, or an elephant, or even a fierce lion? Now,
Indeed I can!
thundered the huge giant.
I can turn into any creature I wish to.
And quick as a flash, he became a mule, an elephant, and then a fierce, growling lion. How wonderful!
Said Puss.
I see you have truly amazing powers. You have shown me how large and ferocious you can be. But is it possible for a big fellow like you to become as small as a mouse? Meow!
That is much more difficult,
Said the giant.
but I can do it.
He closed his eyes and concentrated very hard. Then suddenly he became a small brown mouse. Squeak, squeak.
With one quick stroke, Puss pounced on the mouse and killed it. The wicked giant was dead.
Puss ran to the door of the castle just as the king's carriage came. The king, his daughter, and the miller's son were riding in it. Welcome round!
Called Puss.
Welcome to the castle of the Marquis of Carabas! Meow!
They all went in.
The king was very happy to see the castle of Marquis of Carabas, and his daughter and the Marquis got married.
Only the miller's son knew that all his good fortune was due to Puss in Boots, and he was grateful to him forever.